This is not breaking news. This is not a scandal. This is not about one person. This is something far more dangerous, something quietly unfolding beneath the surface. A system once stable is now slipping away. No headlines scream about it, but in the corners of power, it's becoming undeniable. The threads are fraying. You can see it in the small moments, something out of place, something so subtle it might be ignored by most, but not by you. A failure, a breakdown. But it's not loud, not obvious. This is the kind of collapse that moves in the shadows, the kind of collapse you only notice once it's already too late. And yet, here we are at the edge of something big, something that could unravel the entire fabric. The consequences are already rippling through, unseen, unspoken. You're about to see how deep this goes. Stick with me, because this is just the beginning. What controls the system now? It's not what you think. It's not about the president or his latest tantrum or the headlines. Forget personalities. Forget who's in the Oval. The system, this failing system, is driven by something deeper. There's a force at play, one that's not as visible, but infinitely more powerful. It's the network of interests, the unseen hands, the people pulling the strings, those who stand to gain when the rest of us fall apart. Look at the markets, the sudden shocks, the booming economy in some distant corner of the world, while everyday Americans watch inflation climb. Think about the trade deals, the alliances, the ones that seem to be disappearing before your eyes. These are not accidents. These are calculated moves orchestrated by those who have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And what happens when you pull at the wrong thread? When you disrupt this system, the stakes higher than you can imagine. It wasn't always like this. There was a time, barely remembered now, when things operated differently, when leadership, even flawed, still had some semblance of accountability. But those days are gone. What changed? It wasn't a sudden shift, but a slow one. The kind of change you barely notice as it happens. Tiny moments, imperceptible shifts, building on each other until before anyone knew it was too late. The system didn't collapse overnight. No, it started quietly. The erosion of norms, the blurring of lines between right and wrong, the dismantling of the very mechanisms that were supposed to protect us. Before, a scandal might have shaken the system. Now, a scandal is just another day. Before, accountability meant something. Now, it's a joke. And the people who once stood to defend it, they've been sidelined, ignored, or replaced. The slow creep of failure is the most dangerous thing of all. Because once it's here, it's invisible until it isn't. And then it's too late. Here's the thing, the cracks are starting to show. And it's no longer just whispers. It's happening right now in front of us. A single jarring moment that reveals the depth of the problem. A union worker, a confrontation, a statement, a simple call out. But what happens next? That's the real story. Instead of addressing the accusation, instead of trying to understand, the response is anger, defensiveness, chaos. This isn't just about one incident. It's a symptom, a sign of something much bigger, much more dangerous. A president who cannot tolerate any form of dissent, not even from his own supporters. A leader whose reflex is not reasoned response, but tantrums. And as for the worker, he's now caught in the crossfire, suspended, retaliated against for a moment of truth. A small, personal crisis, but one that speaks volumes. Does this seem isolated? It's not. You see, it's not about what you're being told, it's about what's really happening behind the scenes. The president might be the face of the operation, but the ones pulling the strings are in the shadows, unseen. This system doesn't operate for the benefit of the people. It operates for those who control the wealth, the power, the resources. The rest of us, we're expendable, disposable. When the crisis hits, when the economy falters, when the people cry out for help, it's not the leaders who suffer. It's the workers, the everyday citizens, the ones whose lives are upended by decisions made in boardrooms and back offices. Take a moment and look closely at who's profiting from this chaos. The wealthy, the corporations, the ones with the power to rig the game in their favor. They take what's theirs while everyone else absorbs the fallout. This system is designed to protect them, not you. And as for those who resist, they're silenced in ways you can't even imagine. It doesn't stop. Another shock, another moment that should have rattled the system, but instead, it only exposes the cracks wider. Here's the new reality. Everything, every decision now comes with a price. And it's not the people making the decisions who pay. It's the people who had no choice but to follow. Think about the trade deals, the sudden abandonment of allies, the complete disregard for agreements that were once considered sacrosanct. A shift this dramatic doesn't just hurt those on the receiving end. It sends a ripple through the entire framework. And what's left behind? A vacuum of trust, of stability. This isn't just politics anymore. This is a system in crisis. But the crisis isn't being addressed. It's being ignored, pushed aside. Each decision, each new policy, it just escalates the breakdown. And you can feel it, can't you? Now, let's talk about you. Yes, you, the ones who watch this play out from your living rooms, from your phones, your computers. You're seeing the fallout, but it's not just abstract, it's real. It's in your pocket, at the gas pump, in your paycheck. You can feel it when prices rise faster than wages. You can feel it when the promises of a better tomorrow turn to dust in your hands. You can feel it when the system you've trusted begins to show cracks and the people who were supposed to protect you are too busy protecting themselves. This isn't some far-off future we're talking about. It's happening now, right now. The cost of this systemic failure isn't just financial, it's personal. It's your life that's being upended. What's it like to realize that you're a pawn in someone else's game? To realize that the very system you believed in has turned against you. It's maddening, it's isolating, and it's not over yet. This isn't just a local problem anymore. It's global. And if you think the consequences of this systemic failure are limited to your borders, think again. The rest of the world is watching, and they're moving on without us. Canada's cutting deals with China. Venezuela's looking to China for oil. Meanwhile, the United States is fumbling, distracted, and isolated. The international market doesn't care about your domestic drama. They care about stability, they care about trade, and they care about what's in their best interest. And right now, the U.S. is a risk, a gamble. The damage is already spreading. The world is shifting, alliances are being redrawn, and you're caught in the middle. You're watching as your country's position on the global stage erodes, piece by piece, as your leaders make decisions that don't just hurt you, they hurt everyone. What happens when the rest of the world moves on and leaves you behind? The future is coming fast, and it's not clear which way it will go. But one thing is certain, it will accelerate. Path 1, asterisk, asterisk, adjustment, asterisk, asterisk. Maybe things get back on track. Maybe this system, this broken structure adapts. Maybe the cracks start to heal. Small fixes are made, and we move forward with a few lessons learned. But those cracks, they never fully close. And that system, still in place, still fragile, will only bend again. Path 2, asterisk, asterisk, erosion. Asterisk, asterisk. This is the path we've been on. The slow unraveling, the gradual breakdown of trust, of stability, of faith in the institutions that were supposed to protect us. Every policy, every move only deepens the rift. We may not notice it at first, but as the ground erodes beneath our feet, it will become undeniable. Path 3, asterisk, asterisk, rupture. Asterisk, asterisk, the most catastrophic. The system can't hold. The pressure becomes too much. A full break, a collapse that reshapes everything. You won't recognize what comes next. Which one will it be? We're too far down the road to make any definitive calls. But we do know this, the acceleration has already started. And once it picks up speed, there's no telling where it will take us. You thought this was just about the headline of the day, didn't you? You thought it was just another crisis, another distraction. But what you're witnessing, it's not temporary. It's not going away. What happens next is up to you. This system is fragile, and it's only getting worse. The question is, will it heal, erode, or completely collapse? And when the inevitable happens, Will you be ready for it? I'm not here to comfort you. I'm not here to tell you everything will be fine. I'm here to tell you the truth that most people won't tell you because they're too busy pretending everything's okay. This is just the beginning. And if you're not paying attention, if you're not asking the right questions, you'll miss it. Don't be the one who looks away. If you want to understand where this is going and how you can stay ahead, keep watching. The next piece of this puzzle is already coming, and trust me, it's worse than you think.